and it's about you and me a little bit. And it's about, in this song I'll sing you now, it's about 3 parts. One part is one group of young people, and the letters express the main feeling they wish they had lived in the 60s, because they think everything happened in the 60s. So, it did, but they don't know what a disaster it was. Second group, the young people have given up, have no hope, take too many drugs, are very depressed, and have no identity. And the third group is a group like the people tonight who are out and didn't come to the concert but went out for anti-nuke instead. And also people like those of you here who really think we still have a chance to make a better world, but we must work very hard. And the chorus says, we are the children of the 80s, and haven't we grown? We're big now. We're tender as a lotus flower, and we're tougher than stone, and the age of our innocence is somewhere in the garden. Did you translate? Okay. Yourself. We're the children of the 80s, haven't we grown? We're tender as a lotus, and we're tougher than stone. And the age of our innocence is somewhere in the garden. We like the music of the 60s. We think those years must have been nifty. Flower children, Woodstock, and the war. Dirty scandals, cover-ups, and more. Oh, but it's getting harder to deceive us. We don't care if Dylan's gone to Jesus. Jimi Hendrix is playing on. We know Janis Joplin was the rose. We also know that that's the way it goes with all the stuff she put in her arm. Don't be alarmed, we are the children of the 80s. Haven't we grown? We're tender as a lotus, and we're tougher than stone. And the age of our innocence is somewhere in the garden. Some of us are the sisters and the brothers who prefer the nighttime for our cover. A leather jacket and a single golden earring. We hang out at discos, lose our hearing. Put tattoos all up and down our thighs. Do anything our parents would despise. Take uppers, downers, blues and reds and yellows. Our brains are turning to jello. We think that life was overrated. Loneliness was underestimated. We are looking forward to the days when we live inside of a purple haze, and the salvation of the soul is rock and roll. We are the children of the 80s. Haven't we grown? We're tender as a lotus, and we're tougher than stone. And the age of our innocence is somewhere in the garden. Some of us may offer a surprise. Recently have you looked in our eyes? Maybe we're your conscience in disguise. We're well informed and we are wise. Please stop telling us lies. We know Afghanistan's invaded. We know Bolivia's dictated. We know America's inflated. We've seen the bloody swords and the broken shields by the riverside, in the mountains and the fields. And although we do not move in masses, we have lit our candles from your ashes. Oh, and our lives have just begun. We are the warriors of the sun, the golden boys and the golden girls for a better world. We are the children of the 80s. Haven't we grown? We're tender as a lotus and we're tougher than stone. And the age of our innocence is somewhere in the garden. Dankeschön.